I feel everything. I experience many things. I'm consumed by nothing. Nothing ever consumes me. And because I'm not consumed, I'm forever moving. It takes a whole world of darkness to put out one glimmer of light. But all it takes is the smallest light to completely destroy darkness in itself.
We turn protection into power.
My beautiful family, welcome to the sixth episode. That sounds nice, right? Sixth episode of the Legacy Link podcast. Today we have three incredible guests. I already did a one-on-one with them. The ratings we have is unbelievable. They add so much value to the podcast and whatever it is that I'm doing. So I wanted to get everybody together. So briefly, we're going to start with Charles. Tell me a little bit about you, Charles, and then go to Jamal, then we'll go to Leticia.
Awesome. Hey, grateful to be here. I'm a tax strategist. I love helping entrepreneurs. I love being able to add value to people's lives. I like solving problems. So at the end of the day, in the tax strategy realm, or reducing taxes, or overall just building wealth in general, the realm where I live. That's a bit about me.
Excellent. Let's go, Leticia. We're going right into you.
All right. So again, Leticia Wright. I have been working with Legacy Link since August of 2025. You guys, my passion is leading people, directing people, really having them see what they have inside of them that they can't see. I have a gift of pulling that out with people. I love the Lord, I have to say that. And I have a passion for learning, growing, and just becoming a better me every single day.
Love it. Let's go, Jamal.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Jamal. I am a life survivor of many things. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a father. I'm a business owner. And most of all, I am a chosen vessel to be able to create a bridge for folks from one plateau of their life to the next plateau of their life. And that's me in a nutshell. I'm just a walking bridge. I love it.
Love it. That's what I'm talking about. Let's hop right into it. First question is for Charles. So, Charles, you were already operating at a high level before a lot of people saw it. What did you understand early that most people missed about money?
Good question. I guess the biggest thing I understood early that most people miss about money is that wherever there is order, wherever there's structure, more can be put into that. And so more money flows where there's order, structure, and when you're like faithful over a little, the Lord will bless you with more.
Okay, excellent. We'll take it. Great. We're going right into you, Jamal. How did you personally connect faith, discipline, and financial growth?
How did I personally connect it? I ensured that each component was a part of my life before I added the other components. So what that means is prior to anything, faith had already existed. Faith was my energy. It was my currency of how I was operating in the moment that I entered into the insurance field. So because of that, faith, it opened up my ability to be disciplined in the field that I'm in, which simply means learning, becoming knowledgeable, being ethical, following the structure of the field itself. And because of that, with consistency, which discipline develops, then I begin to generate what's called wealth. And then wealth operates in the form of what money operates in. It's called currency for a reason. Once you get on the right wavelength, it's going to do what it's going to do.
Agreed. Great answer. All right, girl, you ready?
Ready.
I know you are. What does leadership mean to you?
That's a great question, Lee. To me, one of the words that I always use is serving people, right? Some people come in as I have this quote unquote title and I want to demand people to do certain things. That's not how I look at it. I look at it like I am giving you all the information you need. I am giving you the blueprint and I am showing you the way. And I am leading with compassion and grace. And I want you to really focus on what God has inside of you that will make you lead, right? So I'm just pouring into people and I'm giving them everything that I have and I've learned over the course of my life being in leadership. But for me, it's just, again, having compassion, meeting people where they are and giving the people the tools to be successful at anything that they want to do.
Love it. Excellent. So if y'all thought for 1 second y'all was gonna sit here and answer a bunch of questions, and I wasn't gonna give no time to talk, y'all got another talk coming. So I'm gonna read a question someone sent me, and then I'm gonna answer it, and then we could continue on. I like this format. So someone emailed me, what was the moment you realized you were not just building income, but building something that can change generations? That's definitely a good question. The minute I realized it is when I set the goal. One of the goals that we spoke about is reaching 32 million, right? That number is powerful to me. For those who don't know, it's 32 million Black Americans are either underinsured or don't have any insurance at all. And that kind of hit home. I grew up, I'm 47. I just got a life insurance policy at 42 or 43. So just learning, because we're not taught that. I hadn't seen it anywhere. My grandmother never spoke about it. In school, I never heard anything about it, right? The little time I did in college, nobody spoke to me about life insurance. The first time I was really introduced, somebody was trying to recruit me. When I realized that it was bigger than me, I realized that we had a movement. And one of the things that I'm definitely proud of is because 32 million is going to take a long time. That's going to take a long time for us to get there, but we don't care though, and that's why we pass it on. But one of the things that I'm proud of is I think we're over $250 million back into the community, which is like, so we're going to find another route to get there. Even if we don't reach that number, we're going to hit that income. So that's the answer. Yeah, I hope I answered the question. I want to stop because I want y'all guys to have an opportunity to speak. Sometimes answer questions too long. All right, so we're going right into you, Charles. Okay, what is the biggest tax mistake people make once they start earning more income?
I say the biggest tax mistake that people make when people start earning more income. So historically in our community, when you make money, it's a little bit different. You know somebody, or sometimes you know a guy who can get you a refund, or hey, Pookie and them down the street, they know how to get people an extra 5,000 no matter what, and they can give you a few kids to claim type of thing. And it gets really weird. But I remember seeing a Will Smith interview. And in the interview, I said, hey, he had made his first good money on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And then he's like, man, this is good. So he's spending his money just as it's coming in. Then the next year hits, and the IRS, he said, is literally knocking at his door like, hey, you haven't filed your tax returns. And by the way, you owe us like some 7-figure amount. And he's, I don't have it. I spent that money. And so at the end of the day, like, we're not necessarily told to, hey, not only save for a rainy day, but put money aside for taxes, or put a plan in place to legally not have to pay. Like, we're oftentimes just enjoying life, and then later worry about the consequences. Tomorrow does come, by the grace of God. Tomorrow does come, so you may as well prepare for tomorrow.
Wow. And we have, didn't you put together a software
That's right.
that can help people with taxes?
100%.
I'll say, so what we're going to do is we're going to give our whole community a discount on it, because you got to pay taxes. Don't do what I did. Is that okay? Can we give our community? Okay, that's all I need. I need the whole key from you. You built it, making sure I take care of our community. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys get that. All right, Jamal, you ready? What do you say to someone who keeps praying for change but refuses to move?
Wow, forgive my chuckle, but like, meaningful questions always produce a chuckle in me for some reason, because it's powerful. That's a great question, and it's very impactful. People who always praying for change and doesn't move experience depression. They begin to experience depression because they don't see no results. Like, I'm a man of God, so I understand waiting on God's timing. God's word tells you to do while you're waiting. To do while you're waiting. So if there's no doing, if there's no work going on, depression will set in. I'm not going to go biblical or deep with anybody, but in the scriptures of Exodus, when they departed from Egypt, the length time to get to their destination was 8 days. So look at what depression made it, 40 years. 40 years, right? None of them that left Egypt made it into the new place. Their children and stuff did, but they didn't. And God's intention and hopes was for them to make it into the new place. But because they complained, they murmured, they did nothing. They seen nothing. So I would tell someone who's praying all the time and not doing anything to continue to pray, but just turn your prayer kinetic. Turn it into kinetic energy. Whatever you asking God to do for you, try it yourself first. Whatever it is, try it yourself first, right? And then you'll be able to really see how God works.
Excellent answer. Appreciate it. You ready, sis?
Ready?
Ready. Okay. What is the one decision you made that your future family will thank you for?
Oh, I love that question. So the biggest one is I left my corporate position full time, making six figures. And the reason why I chose to do that is because I wanted to really use my talents and everything that I learned. And don't get me wrong, you guys, corporate America has taught me well. However, I felt I was using all my talents to build someone else's business up, right? To make someone else millionaire. So I was like, you know what? I can do this myself. I have the talent, the skills, and God has prepared me for days like this. So what I did was is I quit my job and I became full time at Legacy Link in March. You guys, I have to tell you, me doing that has to be the biggest, most wonderfulest moment in my whole entire life. Now, I've had some great moments, don't get me wrong. However, the freedom that I have my time back and I'm growing something that is going to be so amazing in my future legacy, family, everyone's going to be like, that's what she did. And have people follow in my footsteps, right? See my family. I am just not talking. Jamal calls it lip service. They see action in me and they see me doing action. I'm silently walking because I know God is leading my steps, but everyone is seeing what I'm doing. Thank you, guys.
Excellent. All right, we're going right into Charles. Going right into Charles. You ready?
Ready?
All right. Why is it dangerous to make money but have no tax strategy?
Okay. I feel like a tax strategy is very similar to being like a good shepherd if you had sheep. And what I mean by that is money is like sheep. And if you don't tell it where to go in advance, you'll end up wondering where it all went. You've got to put some sheep out to pasture so that it can grow, get big and fat. We want the fat sheep. You got to put some in the barn to protect it at night, keep it away from the wolves, the predators. And then you have to really be diligent with your money. And you kind of do that through multiple ways, but one of the biggest ways is just by having a plan. Because if you try to figure it out at the end of the day, I'll just let all the money wander off wherever it wants to go, you end up finding a lot of that is gone and it's never going to come back. So oftentimes when you put a plan in place, you can pre-direct where the money will go. Is it going to go to your family legacy? Literally, you could give yourself a house, a rental property that would be generating income, but that would also give you a write-off at the same time, or you could do nothing and pay a house worth of taxes to the IRS, literally. So the choice is yours. It just depends on what you would like to do. But yeah, I think that's it at the end of the day. You could do nothing and pay the most, or you can be intentional and pay the absolute least.
And gain some assets in the meantime.
100%.
So, I can't wait to get into that. Just, they're going to have property. You guys going to have a first. You got this. Get it. It's time to get excited. If you're not excited already, you got to understand that. Now is our time. Excellent. Okay, Jamal, we're hopping right into you. All right. How do you stay grounded when the mission gets heavy?
That's a great question. I can honestly say up to this day, it ain't got light yet. Right? One of the things I've learned in the renewing of my mind, in the transferring of my life, the work to stay upright and do right comes with a heavy toll. So for me, I stay anchored in God, right? I stay anchored in the strength that can provide strength when I have no strength. And because I stay anchored in that, nothing I go through is ever consuming. Like, I speak this with great confidence, great knowledge, and I share it worldwide and transparent. I feel everything. I experience many things. I'm consumed by nothing. Nothing ever consumes me. And because I'm not consumed, I'm forever moving. It's the consumption of what's going on in our life that causes us to become stagnated, that causes us to want to quit or faint or sit still. It's the consumption. Because of what I'm grounded in, like, nothing consumes, but I experience and feel everything, and it has been successfully. I have not had a bad day in come June 28th will be 12 years. I don't know what a bad day looked like. Now, I've experienced some things in multiple days, but none of those things ever took my day. They just had their moment. And because of that, it's like most people see me like nothing bothers me. I tell them, go read my autobiography, and then you'll know why nothing bothers me. That bothered me. That did what it did to me in my life, right? It's no way, second chance, that I am going to have anything bother me to the extent, because I always tell people I enjoyed and suffered a long time of doing all types of stuff to myself, to myself. Yet I'm still here. So I'll never do those things to myself ever again. So guess what? Ain't nothing else gonna do it either. It's just that simple.
That's real.
Nice.
That's nice. that was nice right there. Great answer. All right, sis. So you've been in the inner circle now for 3 months, 2 months, 4 months. How long you been in this circle?
A month, June 1st.
Oh, yeah. How? So wow. What are we in now? What's today's date? Oh, the 25th. So give me the breakdown of what this month has been looking like for you. Any ups, downs? I want to hear it. Give it to us. How's your experience so far in the inner circle?
It's been really great. I have to say that I wasn't like readjusting, but in a way I was readjusting because I had to set my goals for the month of June, right? And I had everything set. And God tapped in like second week. He's just trust the process. You're planting seeds and the harvest is coming because it's everything is not always consistent with what you're doing, especially in the business that we're in. So it's like I'm just used to having tons of appointments, doing tons of applications, but some weeks it doesn't work like that. So it's like I have to readjust myself, right? And get out of the, oh my goodness, I'm not doing policies, or oh my goodness, what's going on? It's just really, God was like, step back and think about what you're doing, right? You're still talking to people, you're still planting seeds, and those people are just going to come around later. Whoever this is meant to be is meant to be. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So I had to really take that and be like, okay, I got it. So now this week, I'm just doing my thing. I am making my calls, I'm writing policies. I really stepped back and started doing a lot of trainings, right? So I can understand carrier product information. I step back and really talking to agents, educating them, doing trainings with them so they can move up to the next level. So overall, like it's been great. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm loving the information I'm getting from my mentors, building myself and just continuing to grow.
Outstanding. I might ask you a follow-up question. I think is equally important. Girl, are you making money? That's
Yes, I'm making money. So
that's it. Like
I
that's
went
one of the
from,
things. This is obviously slightly different.
yeah.
But we have to be super clear and super transparent. It's, yes, I'm having a good time. We having ups and downs, but I'm making money. When people sign up, it's passion and a profit. And the beautiful thing about what it is we're doing is when you help a family, you get paid. We're getting paid to help a family. I just like that. And it's $1 trillion, $1 billion company that's paying us to serve the communities everywhere. So it's just an exciting thing. So thank you for that. I'm definitely, I wouldn't have cut it if you said anything bad, just so you know. Not like, if
But
you had
just to
anything negative to
reiterate,
say, I
I
wouldn't have my end to cut it. I gotta be better.
in the inner circle league, you guys, it's a different platform. I'm making money. I started at 0 in March when I started full time. That tells you what I've been building. It's June and I'm projected to make anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 this month. So I'll just put my numbers out there. You just have to trust the process. You may not see it at the beginning, but you got to work hard. You got to be consistent and obedient and follow God and for your purpose. So if you do those things, then it will come to you. Trust me. Look, I'm living proof. I'm sitting here telling you.
I'm living proof too. I know y'all heard my testimony. June, March, April, May, June. So July. So 3 months. How many agents you have under you?
Oh my goodness, Link. I think I probably have about, look, I'm going to say about 54, 55-ish.
So where can I throw this out the window? Nah, keep going. That's all I'm gonna take. Keep going. Keep going. I appreciate it. All right, let me go to one of my questions I was asked. All right. Okay. This is for me. Why do you believe life insurance is one of the most overlooked tools in our community? Wow, that's a good question. Because it's a way to leave your kids like something. I didn't just feel loved by my grandmother. I felt adored. Like I'll do anything for you. But the truth is, she left me with a lot of love. She left me with an apartment, some advice, and empty pockets. because they wasn't taught that. And it's my ethical responsibility to make sure that not just my son, and God's will, he has kids, my grandkids, and my will your great grandkids know who you are? So that's what I'm diving and digging into. What's so beautiful and why it's crazy that it's overlooked is it doesn't take a lot of money. It's like, I guarantee you, we can get most people policies for less than they pay for their phone bill. You got your phone bill, you got Netflix, you got HBO Plus, you got ESPN, you got the PlayStation, you got all of this stuff, and you don't have something to leave your kids. And that bothers me, but not just from them, right? Because there's a lack of knowledge. Because I could say the same thing about my own. I could say the same thing about my own group. They didn't know. But now it's time for you to do something. So it's definitely our responsibility to get the information out. And that's something that's overlooked. You get $100, just throwing something, you get $100 policy depending on your age, $100,000 to up to maybe $500,000 that you can leave for your family, for your kids. What does it say? I got three of you guys here. Somebody gonna answer this. What does it say in the Bible about leaving something for your family? A wise man always. How does it go? Somebody phrase it for me. Don't paraphrase it. I want to hear exactly what it says.
It says something like, "A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children."
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. And I think that might be verbatim. I think that is 100% accurate. Is that, Deacon, is that good? Can we sign off on that? Okay, good. So you literally have God telling you, leave something for your kids. A good man leaves something for his kids. And that's something that we have to make sure we get this information out so people are not scared about it. Because if you're scared and you don't understand something, you're not going to purchase it, right? So it's definitely our responsibility as well. All right, we're going right to you, Charles. Let's get to you. All right, so when you look at our community, what financial education do you feel we were never properly given?
That's a good question. Really, I'd say truthfully, beyond a financial conversation, a financial foundation, really. And oftentimes, every generation is starting from scratch, when historically that's not every culture's story. And what I mean by that is, even if you look at the first pioneers of America, they had land grabs. We're here, the whole country is ours to take over and populate. And they said, hey, everybody get a flag, go run and go put your flag down wherever you put that plot. Okay, boom, you got that whole surrounding, I don't remember the exact amount, so I'll just make up a number, 20 acres or 40 acres, whatever. But let's just say, so that 20 acres around your flag, boom, that was yours. And that could stay in your family. But then now, a lot of people that still had that and put structure in place, their family is still in some of these territories to this day. But historically, because we did get a late start due to various systemic challenges that we face as a culture, everybody has had to get it from scratch. Now, some people has had the fortune of having some inheritance of whether it be land or whether it be also some financial resources. But for the most part, we're starting from scratch each time. And it is definitely, we're setting our legacy up for success by having things in place so they don't have to start from scratch each time when we pass away, because it's inevitable. No one's going to live forever. So since it's inevitable, we may as well be protected. We have insurance in case we get in an accident on the way to work. We have insurance in case we get sick, just living life. We have insurance for everything else. We may as well have insurance on the one thing that's absolutely guaranteed to happen. We just don't know. You may not get in a car accident. You may not have a major health scare, but you for sure will go home one day.
For sure. Thank you. All right, Jamal, we got a few more questions going on. Let me take my hat off. Let me get comfortable here. Now we might start diving a little deeper. Let me get comfortable here. So for a man that has, and I'm speaking about myself, for a man that was in the dark before, trying to figure out my way, right? What advice would you have given a younger version of me, right? So like a man-to-man, I'm lost. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm having a tough time figuring it out. Thinking isolation is the best thing for me. I have no direction. What would be your advice? Because we have a lot of lost men, bro. We have a lot of Black lost men in our community. And both of us were able to get out of the darkness, in a sense, with some type of assistance. So one of the things that we want to shoot for is help whoever we can get out the darkness as well. So starting with advice, I think, is the first thing. what advice would you give a young Black man who is just in the darkness and trying to figure his way out?
That's a great question and a great area of need. One that I tackle on a day-to-day basis with young brothers. One of the things that I share with some of my mentees is that darkness is an experience that only survives. Let me use this analogy. It takes a whole world of darkness to put out one glimmer of light. Light is so powerful. So what is that glimmer? That's that eternal light. I've shared this with you. So the light within, keep that no matter how dark is around, because when you wake up in the morning and you know they got all these new curtains, you see some of them online, they call blackout curtains. Blackout curtains, things like that, the way you can turn your house into pure darkness in the daytime. I don't know about no one else, but if you ever want to sleep an extra hour and your curtain is slightly cracked, slightly, just slightly cracked, and that one glimmer of light is in your room, it will cause you to get up because darkness is gone. So when we in a dark space, when we have no fear, for the light within is going to crack through the curtain. And light is so powerful, that one shimmer has just destroyed darkness. See, it takes a full room of darkness to put out the smallest light. But all it takes is the smallest light to completely destroy darkness in itself. So when I talk to them, I always tap into that light, which is them. What's that light? You hear. No matter what we endure, if you hear, that means the opportunity to come out of it still is in reach for your possession. A lot of times, darkness is simply a state of mind that's telling us that there's nothing left. So I remind people, if there was nothing left, you wouldn't be able to be here to tell me that there was nothing left. See, we shatter the falsehood for our men, for our young men, which I hear a lot, and I want everyone listening to hear this. If you really talk to a young man, one of the things you'll hear, he'll say, man, I'm a good dude. You hear people say that, I'm a good dude. So one of the things that I tell them, I said, let's use that. That's your light. Because guess what? If you're a good dude and you made it into today, how could today not be a good day if you in it? It's impossible. If I'm a good man or believe I'm a good man and I'm in, the day has to be good because I'm here. Because I'm here. Good does not exist and not good. Bad and good both exist. Both are powerful entities, but neither one of them can operate at the same time. Neither one of them can operate. They parallel lines, which mean they both exist, both are powerful, but they can't work in cohesion. Peace can't exist if chaos exists. Chaos can't exist if peace exists. And this is what I would tell young folks. If you believe you good, then be good. And because we don't need permission to be good. Because most of us have never asked permission to be bad. We just operated. I'll speak for me, just operated. Avoided asking people to be bad. Just be bad. That same entity can happen in good. So in your dark space, one of the things I knew was, because I've known you 30 plus years, is that as much as you want to be left alone, I'm not going to leave you alone. It's like that nagging fly. See, most people can't stand a fly. You trying to see? I said, God trying to wake you up. There's a reason you need to get up right now. There's a reason you need to get up. So a person who knows what darkness looks like and see it around, oh, I got to make sure that you eventually hear the beck and call of get up. It's simply get up. I don't have to have the solution. I just got to nag you till you get up.
Get back on my feet.
Just nag you till you get up. That's all. Till you be like, yo, bro, leave me alone. All right, at least you got up and told me to leave you alone. Now stay up. This is what I give my mentees. That's the mindset. It's not the darkness. It's not how we all enter dark rooms. I don't know about nobody else, but electricity is expensive. I'm cutting all the lights off when I leave my house. When I come back into a dark room, right, I got to turn my light on. Without a darkness, how would you value the light? You wouldn't know how important light is if you never experienced a darkness. A darkness is a time where you learn the version of you that no one else will ever be able to reach. And this is why you are the man you are today, without that darkness. So what that says, when you ask me, how can I do what I do and get through what I get through and stand through all the toughest times? Because I know darkness. Because I know darkness. And because I know darkness, I know that there's no power. But if darkness couldn't take me, ain't nothing else gonna do. And that's how I help the young brothers. Listen, this darkness right here is a falsehood. You think can't nobody see you, but they can see you. You think can't nobody see you, but we can see you. And that's really all I would tell them is, listen, don't fear the darkness. You have the authority to say, let there be light. Don't fear the darkness. We are taught to be afraid of the darkness. Ask the baby in the womb. Tell me what light is that baby experiencing? But they steady growing. That baby don't know fear until it gets into this world. But it spends its whole 8-9 months in darkness. Not only in darkness, underwater.
True.
That's real. Yeah. Wake up. All right, let's take a deep breath after that before we go to 6. A deep breath. There we go. Everybody, deep breath. Let's let that marinate for a second, then we can move on. All right, sis, this is a good one for me. I definitely want to know how you feel about this. So I'm a big component of everybody being able to stand on their own feet, right? And what I mean by that, specifically women. That's why I want to tap into this. So you being a married woman, I've seen relationships where the woman was solely depending all on the man, and something happens and now she's stuck, she's lost, she doesn't have anything. How would you help, even if the relationships are solid, right? What advice would you give a woman so she can have kind of like her own independence as well? So hold on to that question. I know you got good memory, right? And why I'm asking this is obviously we have a lot of women in Legacy Link. I had a lot of women in Link Fitness, and it's almost always like the same thing. Even women in healthy, beautiful relationships, it's like, I still want my own. I still want to build and have my own. So what advice could you give women to have some type of independence?
Okay. I look at it more as like a partnership. My husband and I are building together. However, he has his course where he's taking on his life, right? And I have my course. Of course, they blend together, but I still look at it like I am an individual person and I have to your point, Link, stand on my own. If something were to happen to him, what would I do? Of course, the life insurance would kick in, but I want to have my ability to set my own goals, to work at my own pace, to have my own career. And I will be very transparent. My husband and I have joint accounts, but we also have separate accounts, right? And what we do is we put in a portion of our pay, right? And for me, I tithe, and then I put a portion of my pay into my account. We have a joint account that we use for the bills, and then we both have spending accounts, but that both gives us the freedom to be set. We're together, but we still have separate accounts. So for me, it just gives me that financial freedom where I can say I can tap into this when I need it. And another big portion of that is that we trust each other, right? So it's not like I'm stashing away money or he's stashing away money. We just have separate entities that we can put together if we need something. But I just think as a woman, just being really comfortable with yourself, internal and external. And then once you solve that and whatever that needs to be. So for me, it's making sure that I'm praying, it's making sure that I'm focusing on the things that I need to focus on. But once I got to that place in my life and I was leading with my purpose, then everything else flowed. So I would just say, just give yourself the right and the freedom just to have the separation with your husband. And it's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. It's okay for you to do it. And to me, it just makes me and my husband great together, right? We do business well, we do relationships well, but it's just the freedom again, just to be separate, but then together. And I will say, because it's like talking to people, especially people are always like, why would you do that? And why wouldn't you just have accounts together? And why would you separate things? And I was like, it's because it's my independence, it's his independence. So it just works for us. And right there's what we've been doing since we've been married for 6 years.
Excellent, excellent. I'm trying to figure out the woman's name. She ended up being a billionaire, so I'm gonna fast forward, rewind. She was married. They're still married. She asked her husband for $10. I think she wanted something from the store. She didn't have a card. And he said two words that changed her life. He asked her, for what? She said, never, ever again. She ended up taking some type of course. She ended up becoming elite at sales. And then in 5 years, she was a multi-billionaire. She said, I will never ask him for, and then she's still married to him. They're in love, but I will never ask you for another dime again. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out and get my own. And that's the thing that, like, and why I'm sharing this, right? So everything we're speaking about is mentorship is the only shortcut God allows. So I have in you three incredible mentors. And why I'm opening this panel up to just speak, because you have to understand how powerful it is to learn from people who are going through it, who went through it, who's on the other side. And we take a holistic approach in the Legacy Link. We're mind, body, and soul. There was a point in time where I was doing well in a fitness company, but now I'm having problems with my bills, and then now I'm not exercising no more. So now I'm not exercising no more. I'm not a symbol of what I'm representing. So now I don't want to work out no more, right? Everything has to be aligned. You want to be at your best. You can never reach your best without it being mind, body, and soul. And something we always speak about is everybody who loves you is praying for you to be your best. Your children don't even know that they want you at your best, but they need you at your best. My son doesn't know the praise for that, but he wants me at my best. He wants me to come in. He doesn't want me to be sad. He doesn't want me to be angry. He doesn't want me to yell at him. He wants to play with Papa regardless what is going on. And you need the energy, and you need the know-how, and you need it. So in order to really grow, self-development is absolutely the biggest, most positive one thing. If you could do one thing, I would say pour into yourself. I think you're going to have the biggest results by just pouring into yourself. Like self-development is the number one thing for any type of growth, right? You can start growing once you grow. You can doors start opening once you become a better version of yourself anyway. You're looking for something. You should be looking for more ways to pour into yourself. It's like when you're shining and you're radiating, people see that. You can't hide light. Jamal just gave you a whole sermon on it. You can't hide the light. And when you start feeling good, people can see confidence. People, like, you can see that and you can sense that and people can feel that. So yeah, self-development is good. I'm going to go one more round of questions and then we're off. I got one for Charles. Okay. Charles, why is proximity so powerful when you are trying to grow?
Good question. So I believe proximity is so powerful when trying to grow because it helps you know what's possible. So there's a debate whether we're a product of our environment or not. They've proven it time and time again. We are, because I'll tell you the story. I remember bringing my son to daycare, and he was like 2 years old, and he didn't eat with a spoon on his own yet, and we were like helping to feed him. He may have been 1.5, but I believe he was 2. And so we're helping to feed him all the time, partly also because we're in a rush. And then so we bring him to daycare, and I see all the other little kids, they're eating with a fork, and they're doing their thing. And I was like, oh. And I told the lady, I was like, hey, he doesn't use a fork yet, just so you know. Oh, he'll be just fine. He'll see all the other kids doing it, and he'll figure it out. And I was like, huh? I was like, okay. She was just so matter of fact with it. And sure enough, like, next day we see him, it was like quick. And he's eating on his own, like with a fork, which we've been trying to work with him on our own for a while. So long story short, we learn so more is caught than taught. Oftentimes when you're surrounding yourself with the right people, the things you're going to learn, you're also going to learn what not to do. You're going to learn what to do, not from what someone is saying, but from what's observed, from looking at everyone around you. So product of your environment is certainly a real thing. They say if you're living in a freezer or if you're living in Antarctica, you're going to have to stop moving sometime. You're going to have to go to sleep, and then the cold would take over. So put yourself in the best environment possible. Let that environment shape you. If your values are biblical, put yourself around biblical people. If your values, you want to get in shape, start hanging around people that are in shape. You want to start doing well in business, start getting around successful business owners.
Okay. I got a follow-up question real quick. I got a follow-up question for you. So obviously we know that, right? So it's like, all right, I have somebody who wants to get in the best shape of their lives, right? That's simple. It's simple to hang around people that's in shape. That's easy. Somebody who wants to become the best chef. Let's go to school, right? You go to school, you can learn, you can get around chefs. That's easy. You have people who want to be wealthy and multimillionaires, and the fastest way to do that is to get around multimillionaires. How can somebody that is not a seven-figure earner and wants to become a seven-figure earner, and we know the fastest way is to get around seven-figure earners, how are they able to do that? What advice would you give to them?
Good question. How can they get around people like that?
Yes.
So
You could have said like us, but
oh, okay. How can they get around people like us? Of course. Yeah, I love that. So at the end of the day, you have to figure out where they are. Like, where are your leaders? Where are your mentors? And how can you get around them? Oftentimes, most leaders and most people doing well will give you a bit of their time if you're willing to pay for it. And the reason why is not only because, hey, I want money or whatever, but we know that whoever is getting advice from us, if they've paid for it, they're going to be more responsible with that advice. They're going to steward it better. They're going to actually use it. You're going to do, if you pay somebody a few $1,000s or several $1,000s, guess what? You're not going to let that money go to waste, and you're going to actually do what they say. But how many times have you ever given someone free advice, and it may even be advice that you're professionally trained in and that people pay you money to do, but you tell someone for free and they don't even take action? And it's okay. And I just realized people don't value what they don't pay for. So if you want to get around high earners or people that are successful, be willing to pay for it, because that's one of the fastest ways for them to also know that you're serious. And then secondly, most people that are doing well have a lot of people coming to them anyway, asking for things for free. And so they're going to be guarded just if you're free. But if you're willing to pay with your time, attention, and money, most people are going to be really giving.
Yeah, I agree. Excellent answer. All right, we got two more questions. We wanted to you, Jamal, because I like your advice. You're always giving sound advice, right? You're one of the people that I always went to if I'm like confused about something or I need some type of help. You're my wise man, right? Wise man always consults with counsel. You've been like my wise man for years, so I appreciate that. So, what advice are we giving to people who, again, they want better, right? And we can do Legacy Link as an example. We have people who they're coming on, they're tiptoeing in, they're not really moving. It's like they want to move, but they're not moving, right? So I need you to find a label for that. All right, let's find a label for that first. And then what can you say to them to get them going, right? Because sometimes it can be words. I know we have to move on up, but there's times in my life, and I'm sure everybody here can contest to this, maybe not, I'll speak for myself, where somebody just said the right thing to me. And quick example, one of my mentors, his name is Cheo, said one of my favorite lines I've ever heard. I was a really good football player and I was having a bad day. I didn't come prepared to play. I just showed up, if that makes sense. And he pulled me to the side and he only had to say one line to me. And after that, I turned up. He said, average people don't make it in life. He said, there's nothing average about you. Stop playing like you're average. That was it. Every game after that, it was the elite link. That's all I needed to hear. And I needed it from him. You know how sometimes, I think everybody here has kids, right? Your kids are older, then you can definitely understand this. You try to give them advice or say something to them, and it's like, they rubbing it off. But if they find maybe a celebrity figure that says it, or somebody they may admire, they're used to their parents. They're used to that. But you find somebody else from the outside coming in, and you tell them that, and then now they might be ready to go, and they might be ready to do it. So if you can give 30 seconds to a minute of advice that can get people going, what would that be, Jamal?
No, that's awesome. I'll tackle the first part because you wanted me to label what I would call someone who wants to do something. So I would call them a lit professor, right? And I would encourage them to get a job in one of those animated movies where you just on the back on a microphone talk, because that is useful in certain things, right? But even that requires you to go to the studio, right? So that requires that. So the way I would tell someone that may be in that early position is this: your smartest idea, your greatest input in all that you did prior to meeting me got you to the point to meeting me. So you got to be willing to let go of that stuff that got you to the point prior to me, right? I always tell folks when they come in, I'm not the one who puts your life in a position to where you begin to seek a way out. You begin to seek a way out. The way out became apparent, and now it's here. A lot of them fail is because soon as you get in a new room, the first thing you want to do is bring that old Archie chair that you had for 40 years into your new room. And you wonder why the new appears gloom. A new world requires image. Like my home right now, which y'all can see out the window, you don't see my home. And I'll be honest, I've been here almost 5 years. My walls are still the original walls that they painted when they built my home. And folks are like, people, they be like, man, you still got the flat paint? Yes. It's not that I'm not ready. I like brand new. I like original newness. See, because prior to that, my story, my autobiography, you spoke of some self-development. So I would just tell them, like, listen, if nothing changes, it's easy for me to get up off my couch right here and go upstairs to my bedroom. Whatever space I'm in at this couch, say I'm in a low space. Just because I went to my bedroom don't mean the low space left. I got to make a decision to come out of the low space. So when they get the legacy link and you made a decision in, now you got to live with that decision of let me acquire something new. Legacy Link has something I want. Legacy Link shares with you how we acquired it. Legacy Link has it. Legacy Link's offered it. But what Legacy Link can't do is make you apply it. If you're not applying something from the new, then you're just living with the old stuff in the new space. See, you know me. I'm a part of Legacy Link. I'm here. I'm the muse. I am the one that speaks reality to the reality. And I don't do it to discourage anybody, but that's the level you have to get to if you want to be successful. I have to stop living with the mindset, what is that? I want to make $1 out of 15 cents. No one has ever asked a person, how did they make $1 out of the 15 cents? They went to work and earned the other 85. They went to work and learned the other 85 because 15 cents ain't never going to become $1 without no work. It just doesn't happen. So that's how I speak to all the members in our company, and I love them, and I tell them, like, listen, all this is for you, but it ain't coming to get you. It ain't coming to get you, but you surely can come access it. All of y'all said it. He said environment. Put yourself in the right environment, right? Mentorship, right? Partnership. All those things require you to place yourself in a space that you ain't been in yet and get from that space. His son learned to eat with a fork by being around fork eaters. We are, by design, humans are creatures of habit. By design, we can't avoid becoming habitual with whatever we do. If you at Legacy Link and you make it to Legacy Link, then get with the habit of Legacy Link. Get with Legacy Link's habit. Get with those fitness people, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of the world habit. Right? Get with the habit that you want. You want to be successful and wealthy, then you got to do the habits of the successful and the wealthy. You cannot implement your habits you came in with. You have to acquire the habit, and mentorship is the greatest way of acquiring that because at least you can avoid many potholes. You can avoid many potholes. Mentorship will help you not make some of the mistakes that can be catastrophic in this field, because they are. And I end with this. One of the things Charles said, and I very appreciated it because I like the analytical money mind that some people have. One of the habits of us is that we get rich, but we don't think about the cost of getting rich, i.e. taxes. So that means we get rich and forget what country we live in. Uncle Sam ain't never let nobody get over. Uncle Sam system is created that you're gonna give us either now or later. And with later comes penalty. So you structure yourself to pay as little so that you can maximize what you obtain. So that's the same with Legacy Link. Listen, you came in for little and you got to maximize your return. This was awesome. Awesome. Thanks for that question. So if you here to do something different, it's just that simple. If you in Legacy Link, you here to do something different. Do something different.
Love it. I love it. Got one more question. Y'all all saying the same thing. It's just about being plugged in, staying plugged in. You're going to find out anyway, sis. But these two definitely know. Riverbank State Park in New York. I remember I went in there and I was out of shape. I went to the park and I walked in and everybody's running, everybody's exercising. When I tell you, I was the most motivated I've ever been in my life. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start tomorrow when I should have started today. I left and I think As soon as I walked out the park, I was like, I was like eyeing McDonald's. Like my eyes was on McDonald's. Because I was no longer plugged in, right? And then I said, you know what? Let me just go to the park tomorrow, whether I work out or not. And then I went to the park tomorrow, and it motivated me. I didn't do nothing the first 3 days, but it motivated me to do something. But if you just stay plugged in, like eventually you're gonna do what everybody else is doing. So stay plugged into something positive because that works negatively as well. If you keep going around, no matter what it is somebody's doing, if you're staying around that, then you're gonna start adapting some of those bad habits as well. We got one more question for you. One more question for you. How did you become such an incredible leader? Because we think you're an incredible leader, right? And that's not subjective, right? We stand in that. We stand in that. How did you become such an incredible leader? And what tips would you give someone else to help them propel to where you are in terms of leadership?
I think one of the first thing is don't wait to take action. Don't wait for everything to be perfect, right? Just do it. Just take action. I know in my earlier days, I was always like, oh, this has to look like this, and this has to shine like this, and I can't move until that's in place. I just stopped looking for perfection and I just went out and got it. So, being a leader for me is just really stepping out on faith. It's really allowing yourself, even if I'm tired, you guys, I still do it. I don't go off of my feelings anymore because my feelings can be up and down every single day. I just push myself. I wake up, I do it, I set my goals, and I motivate myself. And I said it before, but I'm always looking to make myself a better version of me every hour, every second, every week, every month, and every year. So I would just say, really just focus on what you're passionate about and just lead with it. Just go for it. Because if you don't do it today, you're going to look around 2 years from now and be doing the same thing. So you might as well just incorporate something different. You have to be uncomfortable. It's if you're not uncomfortable, you're not learning and growing. The more that you're uncomfortable, the more that you grow, the more that you learn it, you're going to wake up and be like, oh, this isn't nothing. I remember the first time that Link asked me to come on the podcast. I was like, what? Huh? What? Huh? What? You put me on a podcast? But I just did it, right? My first podcast was with one of my mentors, and it was the greatest experience that I've ever experienced, you guys. I could have said, no, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not going to do it. Look, now I'm just doing podcasts and it's becoming second nature. So, what I would say to you is that whatever you're holding back, whatever you're fearful from, just let it go. You got to walk with it, you got to own it. And I'm telling you, you are going to see the results.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Any closing remarks? We're going to do 15 seconds, Jamal. We're going 15-second closing remarks. How are we going to start with you, Charles? Give us some closing remarks.
I'll say excellence is a constant pursuit to do better than you did before. So I would encourage you to adopt a mindset of excellence. In the Bible, it's Joseph. Joseph had the coat of many colors. So in the Bible, it said Joseph had an excellent spirit, or almost like a spirit of excellence. And at the end of the day, when you keep trying to do better than you did before, your best will become better. So I'd say do your best till your best comes better, and then your talents are going to make way for you.
Love it. Love it. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Let's go, Jamal.
All right, my closing remarks is that no matter how big or small the step, each one gets you closer to your destination. Right? For God didn't give us the spirit of fear nor timidity. So fear is an illusion. It's an illusion. And it only operates when we operate humanly. So in closing remarks, if you made it here, or if you thinking about coming here, you've already facing the right direction. All you got to do is take the next step, tippy toe, crawl, whatever it takes. Just ensure that you putting one foot in front of the other, and I promise you, you'll get there.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's go, Leticia.
I just say someone is always waiting for what you can offer. So just keep pushing forward, you guys. Misery becomes your ministry, and there's always that one person that you're going to share your story with, and it's going to change their life. So just keep being who you are, doing what you do, and keep pushing forward.
I love it. This was amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I feel like I have two brothers and a sister, which like is incredible. Community is everything. like community is everything. You three, I feel like I could depend on you. If I need something that is within your power, I don't think I've heard no. If you need to hop on, or I watch all three of you shift your schedule, like to kind of like just make room for my chaotic. I'm all over the place, but I really appreciate it. You add immense value to my life. Like I think that's the thing people miss, and silent gratitude is good for no one, right? Let's start there. So I'm going to always compliment you and pour into you because whether you know it or not, you're constantly pouring into me. There's nothing more precious than time. And you guys are available for podcasts. You're available when I need you. And like our growth depends on each other, right? We're a community, and this community is incredible. And you guys play a huge part in my life. I feel like my life is incredible. And it starts with the community. It starts with my brothers and sisters that I can count on, that I can call on, that we have men and women of their word. And, you know, me growing up, it was never malicious. I just used to exaggerate my own ambitions on other people. It's like, no, come in, Jamal. We can make $1 million in 4 days. And it's not like I'm making these numbers up. It's just how I feel like I can be. And then now you taught me to just stay steady, right? I'm being around people who's always honest, who's never exaggerating. And it's just added so much just value to my life. So I just want you to know I really appreciate your time. I love you. And if there's any way that I can make your lives better, the answer is always yes. So thank you.
We don't chase it, we empower. Legacy live.